My in-laws offered to help with our down payment. Said it was a gift. Later, they pushed to have their names added to the deed. I've always believed in building slowly. No shortcuts, no loans I can't carry. So when my wife and I finally started talking about buying a house, I was proud. Not excited, proud. We'd been married 3 years, renting a decent 2-bedroom, saving little by little. She wanted more space. A real kitchen, maybe a nursery. Me? I just wanted something with my name on it for once. We sat on the couch with our laptops one night, scrolling through listings. She lit up every time she saw a double vanity or big windows. I kept an eye on interest rates. When she found one she loved, she whispered, "Can you believe this might be ours?" I kissed her shoulder and said, "Let's make it happen." We didn't have enough for the down payment. Not quite. We were close, but not competitive offer close. She suggested, asking her parents. I paused. Not because I didn't appreciate the idea, I just knew what it might cost. Her parents were nice. In a formal, we say grace and talk about interest rates way, helpful, but never warm. Still, we needed help. They invited us to dinner. We brought a bottle of wine. She wore her "Please Like Us" dress. Her mom, F59, smiled the whole time. Too wide. Her dad, M63, listened like he was already doing the math in his head. After dessert, her mom said, "Of course we'll help. You two are family. It's an investment in your future." I thanked them. Meant it. I had no idea what the fine print on that promise would eventually look like. They offered $40,000, no strings, they said. Just a gift to get us into a good home. They even wrote the check quickly. Didn't ask for repayment. Didn't blink. She was over the moon. I was grateful, cautious, a little sick to my stomach. I didn't know why at the time. Just a gut thing. We made our offer. It was accepted. I'll never forget the moment we stood in the empty living room, echoing footsteps and sunlight through half-covered windows. She said, "This is it. This is ours." And for a second, I believed her. The paperwork started. Inspections, mortgage approvals, final walkthroughs. The realtor asked if the down payment was a gift. I said yes. She said, "Make sure there's a letter. No repayment. Expected." Her parents signed it, but I remember the look her dad gave me when I asked for it, like I was signing more than I realized. She started calling it her family's house, jokingly at first. "We owe them big time. It's basically the last name starter estate." I laughed. "Kind of." Then she said, "Mom wants to help decorate. She has great taste." I shrugged. I didn't care what color the walls were as long as I was painting them for us. Her mom showed up to the house with a tape measure and a clipboard. Didn't knock. Just let herself in. Said she had the contractor coming tomorrow to look at the master bath. I asked, "Which contractor?" She blinked. "Didn't she tell you? We're taking care of it." That night I told my wife it bothered me. Not the help, the assumption. She sighed, said, "They're just excited. Can you not make this a thing?" I dropped it. Because we had a house. Because we were lucky. Because maybe I was making it a thing. Her dad started swinging by just to check in. Always during the day, when I was at work. She told me afterward, casually, like it was normal. He wants to help with the yard before winter. The yard I mow. The yard I paid for to be resodded. I found him in our garage one afternoon. He was measuring the shelving space. Said he was thinking about setting up storage for tools. His tools. I asked if he planned on moving anything in. He just chuckled and said, "Well, it's family space." Why not? They started calling it the house. Not our house. Not my daughter's house. Not the home you two built. Just, "We'll swing by the house." We left the package at the house. Tell him not to park in front of the side gate. We might need to get in later. She defended it all. Every weird boundary crossed. Every tone I noticed. "You're being sensitive. They're just proud of us. You always think the worst." I started to wonder if I was crazy. They had keys. She told me after the fact. It's just for emergencies, I said. We haven't had any. She didn't answer. We got a letter from the mortgage company, just a routine notice. Her mom opened it, didn't ask, didn't blink, said I was already over, and I figured it might be important. It had my name on it. She handed it to me like a bill I'd forgotten to pay. Her mom suggested we convert one of the guest rooms into a space for when they visit. Not a guest room, a space. We'll even bring our own furniture, make it comfortable. I stared at her. She smiled like this was kindness. They brought up the deed during brunch, not in a hostile way, just a soft drop in the conversation. It's more common than people think. Protects everyone's investment. We're not trying to own it, just to reflect who contributed. She didn't say anything. She just sipped her mimosa. I asked her about it in the car, said it made me feel like a tenant. She said, "They helped us. It's not crazy for them to want acknowledgement." I said, "We thanked them. They signed a gift, letter." "That's acknowledgement." She crossed her arms. "You're making this weird." I started sleeping worse, eating less. Not because of money, but because I felt invaded. Not a partner. Not a man building a home, just someone holding the mortgage while her parents made the rules. They brought papers, not through lawyers, just casually. Printed PDFs in a manila envelope. Her dad handed them to me during dinner. Just some deed language we found online. Would be good to get ahead of it. I didn't touch them, just asked. "Is something wrong?" He smiled. "Not at all. Just protection. For everyone." That night, she said, "You could at least look at it." I said, "Why are you okay with this?" She didn't answer. Just rolled over and turned off the light. I finally read the paperwork. It wasn't protection. It was co-ownership. They wanted their names on the deed, not as co-signers. Not as silent contributors, as equal owners. I brought it up calmly. She said, "It's not like they're kicking us out. They're just formalizing what they already gave." I said, "It's not theirs to formalize." She said, "So what? You'd rather give the money back and lose the house?" I said, "I'd rather not feel like I'm renting my life." Her mom sent me an email, professional tone, included bullet points. They only wanted security, no interference with our daily life. Simply wanted their investment reflected in title. At the bottom she wrote, "Let us know what works for you. We're flexible, to a point." To a point, I started looking at the house differently. Not as a home, but as a battleground. Every drawer I opened, every floorboard I stepped on, felt like proof of compromise. Not with her, with them. They came over unannounced, again, brought wine, laughed, talked about their side of the house. Joking, of course. Everything was always a joke, until I pushed back. Then I was the one with the problem. She joked to a friend on the phone. "Well, technically, it's 3 homeowners now." I was in the other room. She didn't know I heard it, or maybe she did. Maybe she didn't care. We got into it that night. No yelling, just quiet, sharp things. I asked, "If it came down to it, them or me, what would you choose?" She stared at me like I'd broken something. "Why would you even ask that?" But she didn't answer. She just asked me why I asked. I stayed up that night on the couch. She never came out to check on me, never texted. And I think that's when I knew. This wasn't just a power move from her parents, it was a door she'd already walked through, and I wasn't invited in. She sent me a text. "Mom wants to schedule a meeting with all of us, just to get clarity, nothing aggressive, clarity." As if I'd been unclear, as if I'd been vague about the part where I said, "I don't want to share ownership of my home with your parents." The meeting happened on a Sunday. They brought pastries, like this was brunch. Her mom laid out a revised draft of the deed. Her dad asked if I had any other concerns. And my wife? She sat between us, not speaking, not moving. Asked the question, "If this were my parents, would any of you be okay with this?" Silence. Her mom said, "It's different. We're involved. They're not." I said, "Exactly." Her dad finally dropped the mask. "If you want to remove the money from the equation, we'll just treat it like a loan." My blood went cold. Gift becomes a loan, support becomes debt, family becomes creditors. I stood up, didn't yell, didn't slam anything, just said, "We're done here." Walked out, sat in the car, waited. She didn't follow. That night, we didn't speak. She didn't ask what I needed, didn't ask if I was okay. She just went to bed like nothing had happened. I slept on the couch again. It felt familiar now. The next day, she left a note on the fridge. "I just want peace." No apology. No ownership. Just a request to keep the quiet war going. I started checking my old lease paperwork, started making calculations, started asking myself, what if I walked away and never looked back? The answer didn't scare me. That's how I knew. She texted me at work. "Mom asked if you're still being stubborn. Not if I was okay, not if we could talk. Just a relay from the other side." I didn't reply. That night I said it, not loud, not angry, just tired. This isn't our marriage anymore. This is a negotiation with your parents and you're just letting them do the talking. She cried, but she didn't deny it. I started packing small things, not because I had a plan yet, just because I needed to feel space again. My passport, a few work files, spare clothes I hadn't worn in months. She didn't notice, or maybe she did, and didn't ask. They invited us to a dinner, just to talk. I didn't go. No fight, no protest, just a text. "I won't be coming." That was it. She called me distant that week, said I was making things harder. I said, "No, I'm just no longer pretending this is normal." She didn't speak after that, just walked away like I was being unfair. Her dad emailed me, formal, cold. "We're disappointed you're choosing to divide the family over a matter of paperwork. Please reconsider your position for wife's name's sake." My name wasn't even in the greeting. Just, "To whom it may concern." She stopped wearing her ring around the house. Subtle. But I noticed. I didn't bring it up, because if she was going to silently announce her distance, I'd silently accept it. I stayed late at work more often, ate alone, slept light. Didn't dream much. There's something about being emotionally alone that sharpens your senses. You start noticing every click of a drawer, every eye roll, every missed glance. She said, "You're acting like a stranger." I said, "You're treating me like one." She left the room. Her mom sent a follow-up message. "Let's reset. You're still part of the family." I stared at that line for a long time, because it was the first time anyone had admitted they might have pushed too far. But even in the apology, they used the word "still," like it was their call whether I belonged. I spent the night at a friend's place, first full sleep in months, no one walking through the house without knocking. No silence that felt like surveillance, just quiet. Earned quiet. I opened my laptop and pulled up a rental application, furnished, month to month. I didn't tell her. Not because I was hiding, but because, for once, I wasn't asking for permission to leave. I signed the lease. Small place, clean, quiet. First night was going to be on an air mattress, and I didn't care, because it would be mine, and only mine. I didn't leave a note. Didn't take more than what I came into the marriage with. Didn't slam a door. I just walked out before sunrise. Keys on the table. Phone on silent. No ceremony, just air. She called the next day, 12 times. No messages. Just the assumption I'd answer, that I'd still play the role, that I'd come back eventually. Her dad sent a text, "This is childish. You'll regret this." I didn't respond, because I already had, for months. Regretted every moment I stayed quiet to keep their comfort intact. My mom called. She said she knew it had been coming, said she was proud of me, for leaving before I forgot who I was. That was the first time I cried. Woke up the next morning to birds and my own breathing. No tension, no invisible hands on the back of my neck. Just peace and a coffee. I didn't have to share with anyone who doubted me. She finally sent a message. Not a question, not a plea, just, "I didn't think you'd actually go." I stared at it for a long time. Then I deleted it. Not because I was angry, but because I didn't need to keep anything that still treated me like a bluff. Weeks passed. Her parents tried reaching out through mutuals, tried spinning it, said I walked out without a word, said I was unstable. And you know what? Let them, because they'd lose their grip faster, trying to twist the truth than facing the silence I left behind. Someone asked me if I'd ever go back. Try again. Start over. I said, you can't rebuild on land you were never allowed to own. They understood. The deed never changed. It stayed exactly how it was drawn up the first time. But I did. And when I left that house, I didn't just leave her family's name off the property. I left it off. My future.